And we're back on Second Street talking about ideology in the K-12 system. Are things going too far? Paige, before the break, we're chatting, and Barbara mentioned that she believes that, yes, we do have a more systemic problem in Canada when it comes to the public school system, putting forward ideology in the classroom. I want to ask you, what's your take? Do you feel that, based on the research that you've been doing, what you've been observing, that this is a part of a broader problem, or is it a little bit more sort of isolated in terms of cases?
Well, we certainly see some cases pop up that are dramatic, some events that, make news headlines. But I mean, it seems to be a more widespread issue, just if you look at what's influencing political debates and elections at the school board level, at the provincial level, really across Canada. We see the issue of parental informed consent essentially coming up. So I don't think that it really is a really isolated thing. It's something that seems to have taken up issue across the country, and that seems to be very out of line or out of touch with the parental preferences and what they want to see in their kids' K-12 schools. So I think that's one issue, is that this is just out of step, and we've done surveys across Canada, getting a regional representation from each province and region, showing that this really is out of line with parents and what they want to see, which is a much less biased and a much more balanced take when it comes to what their kids are getting in schools. The other issue, I think, is that there just is a lack of school choice across, certainly in Ontario, but even to an extent in the provinces that have school choice policies. And what I mean by that is that it's difficult for parents, if they are unsatisfied or if they do not like the approach, whether it's political or curriculum, pedagogical or otherwise, it's very difficult for them to then make a different choice for their child's education. Not just in terms of being able to pay out of pocket to attend a different school, but even Barbara brought up the teachers' colleges. You have to hire certified teachers in the provinces that have educational choice policies. So all of the teachers are coming from the same teachers' colleges. You also need to use the provincial curriculum if you want to get that funding, which means every kid is learning the same curriculum. So if there is a change that veers toward some kind of ideology or sort of philosophy that parents aren't happy with, it's very difficult for parents to make a different choice for their child. And if it is out of line with what parents are wanting, then that, I think, is an issue that we're seeing right across the country.
So you've done some research when it comes to polling Canadians. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What are Canadians' expectations of the school system when it comes to ideology?
Yeah, so when it comes to this, 86% of parents of K-12 kids specifically, so whose kids are currently in K-12 schools, want teachers and curriculum to focus on providing students with facts and a learning environment within which students can openly explore facts. When it comes to controversial issues like how we should approach climate change or gender and sexuality issues, 76% of parents, so more than 3/4, believe that kids should be presented both sides of those issues. And if it's not possible for them to be presented both sides for some reason, then they should be avoided entirely. 91% of parents say that conversations should always be age appropriate. More than 4 in 5 parents with kids in K-12 schools believe that they should have advance notice of controversial topics before they're brought up in the classroom or in formal school activities. And 7 in 10 believe they should be able to pull their child from a lesson or an activity that they think is too controversial without a consequence to their child's grades. So really, the overwhelming majority of parents are very much in line across the country, even though these issues are sometimes presented in the media as being, contentious. Parents want to see this kind of thing from their schools. Parents are very much of the opinion, according to this survey that we did with Leger and released earlier this year, that it should be about facts and balance, not political bias in terms of what kids are getting.
I mean, those numbers seem to very strongly communicate a feeling among the public that they don't want ideology in the public school system, but yet we keep seeing these examples where the system is doing things that are not aligned with what parents want. When we come back, I want to talk with you both about the situation that popped up in the Toronto District School Board recently, where Some parents consented for their children to go on a field trip and observe a protest of some Aboriginal people who are concerned about mercury poisoning in their water supply, when at the end of the day, somehow these kids ended up marching in a protest in support of the Palestinian cause, which is obviously a very different issue, very divisive issue. When we come back, we want to explore that.